What's up, people? How you doing?
How we doing, folks? How we doing today?
This is our buddy Jeff, by the way. We know Jeff since we're kids. I mean, and also if you've seen Leroy on our show, we're all buddies, kids.
We all grew up together.
I don't know what shit my hair. We just got through playing some music. So
How we doing?
Yeah. Jeff, you want to play some music real quick?
Yeah.
Grab one of the guitars over there and let them hear you play. Yeah, look at that.
And he just learned today. Nothing.
No, but actually, believe it or not, we're going to be doing that. The reason I have Jeff over here is we're going to start a new show today where we were going to try to teach somebody how to play guitar. Go ahead, Jeff. Show 'em what you got.
Show what you're made of.
Hey. So Jeff was over here initially going to try to do a new show. And the show, if you have a guitar at home that you just don't mess with because you got a little frustrated that it wasn't, it wasn't advancing as quickly as you should or whatever. We're not looking to make you into a virtuoso, but we want to make you like a campfire guitarist. So in other words, when you just round people in the guitar there and you pick it up and just make somebody smile, that's all it can be.
You see?
And we want to show you how simple it really is. We can attest that when we were younger, we tried to play guitar. We didn't really understand, like something stupid. Like to give you an example, that a chord pattern, okay, which is like a D chord, for example, is the shape of a V. Okay, so one finger's down, two fingers go up. So it's like the shape of a V. We didn't realize that V applied to the whole neck. So at one fret level, the frets are those little bars, those little boxes on the neck. At one fret, that V is a D chord. If you move it down one fret, it becomes an E. If you move it down 2 frets, it becomes an F. I'm sorry, no wait. If you move it down 2 frets, it becomes an E. And then if you move it 1, it becomes an F. It's a step between E and F. But you don't know this, and it sounds so complicated. Even me explaining it right now, and I know how to do it, it sounds complicated to me. So what we want to do is we want to make it really super easy. And we're going to start off with something called power chords, okay? Jeff, you want to show me real quick what a power chord is?
Sure.
Okay.
A power chord.
Now you hear that. Now that's a simple 2-string hold down. So you just hold down 2 strings. That's all it is, okay? Now can you give me an A as a chord up on the guitar? It's the same chord. It's just one that's a little more intricate to play. So what we want to do is we want to show you the easy way now. I know it sounds like cheating, but it's really not. Because once you learn that you can play these chords and make songs, or play songs that you know, you're going to want to experiment more and learn more. But if you can't play these and you can't play these songs, you're going to get frustrated and you're going to give up. And your guitar's going to sit in the corner and collect dust. Take it from somebody who did it.
Right, for years.
I'm being completely honest. There were years where I would touch my guitar because I just wasn't advancing quick enough. I felt like I was totally stagnant. And the truth of the matter is, all it took was me learning a new song. Once I learned a new song, then all of a sudden the guitar was more necessary to me to play. But if I didn't know that song, I was just playing the exact same songs I knew all along. It got boring. And then the guitar went on its legs, and it was getting better. And it turned out that once I got motivated and I started learning those songs, it all made so much more sense as to how to accent things and how to. It just made so much more sense. If I had an issue with my mouth, you have to understand I just have my teeth done, so all of this is temporary at this point. But our basic idea is that we want to make you smile when you play. If you can smile when you play guitar, then you're going to want to play more.
Yes, enjoy.
And that's not where we're at. But we're not going to do that today. We're going to start that probably next week. I want to put together a little bit better of a presentation for it. I think it's something that'll make a huge change in people's lives. Music is amazing once you learn how that you can make it.
Oh, it's fun playing an instrument growing up. It really is.
That's by the way. This is a new one for us. By the way, Kerry is in the room with us, even though you see him on a separate camera. There just wasn't enough room. He's actually in. I'm going to say it like this. He's in the studio.
I'm over by the drumstick.
All right, so I was talking to Jeff earlier, and Jeff brought up about pricing and stuff like that. Prices out there right now. And the thing about prices, okay, Jeff, you want to tell them what you were pissed about when you were
When you wake up in the morning, you wonder how you're going to eat that.
Yeah.
I hear you, bro.
One meal Is the equivalency of 3 to 4 meals.
What was? You're absolutely right.
That's
That's right.
probably right. Well, we're in the 70s,
Even
right?
not forget the 70s. I go back to 2016.
Yes.
2016.
Yes.
In 2016, okay, so I was feeding a family of 4. Me, my wife, my
That's
two
fair.
kids,
Right. I was feeding a family of 5.
Yeah, so you understand. So I would go to Key Food, let's say, right? Pick up groceries. I'm someone who doesn't like to buy for tomorrow. In other words, I like everything really super fresh. So I buy for today.
Absolutely right.
I buy it for today. So every day I go there, it is 1 day's worth of food. Now, in 2016, I was paying probably $80. Probably $80.
That's right.
Fair, right? That's unfair, right?
Mine was
So-
100 for 5 people.
Right,
That's
it was
right.
coming to me about $20 a person. Is what it came to be.
I had a dog. You had same thing.
$3, yeah.
Right.
But anyway, so at that point,
You have to buy them food.
today, if I go to Key Food, and again, I'm not even buying the same amount of food. Back then, I would buy extra. I'd buy like, if I was having salad, I'd buy bacon bits, and I'd buy this, and I'd buy, cheese or croutons or whatever that would go with salad. Today, I wouldn't even buy that today. Okay, I'm not even buying it. Minimally, I'm in 3 digits. Minimally, I'm at $100. On average, it's probably 112 to 120. So you're talking about a rise there of $40, give or take. Okay, so and listen, here's the deal. Okay, you can blame Trump, and the truth is, this all happened on the Biden. Okay, this all happened on the Biden.
Sure.
Biden brought inflation up to 9%,
9.1%.
9.1%, which was, I think, the heaviest.
Highest in 40
Yeah.
years.
It might be history, to be honest. I don't know if it.
Yes, it is.
Anyway,
Worse than 40 years.
so
It beat the Depression,
yeah,
1929.
exactly. People jumping out the window over that.
Thank you.
So my point is,
Because they couldn't feed their families.
everybody was. Joe's favorite phrase was, "It's transitional." That was the word he used. It's transitional. In other words, it's going to transition and go back. Now, you were being bullshit. We were being bullshit. I'll tell you why. No company in history ever turned around and said, "You know what? Our prices are less, so our inventory is costing us less. So we're going to pass it on to the consumer." They might have said that in advertising, but that's not true. No company ever goes back on prices once they're up.
Oh, no. It's
Doesn't
business.
happen. Gas is a different story. Right.
Right.
Gas is regulated in terms of pricing. So, and even now, they're gouging with gas. Without a doubt, they're gouging because the barrels went down a lot. They didn't change the price hardly at all.
Nope.
So that's the actual companies that are doing that. But no company ever, no product company,
Lowers their price.
turns around and says, "You know what? We've been charging them too much for the past 2-3 years. Our prices went down. So let's drop their prices." What they say is, "Our prices went down, that's more profit." They're never going to go back to the original prices. No matter what you think, no matter what
Right.
you believe, it's never going to happen. You know what I'm saying, right? So we're kind of stuck with these prices at the moment. The only hope we have is that our economic situation gets better individually as families. So in other words, hopefully you'll get a raise. Hopefully,
Get a job.
hopefully, the percentage rise. What's it called?
Minimum wage.
Inflation rise.
Inflation.
Actually will stay within reasonability.
That you could, right,
That
we
we
can
can
afford.
balance out. That's really our only shot.
Right.
Other than that, we just got screwed. That's really what it comes down to.
Right. It is. It's really tough these days. Yeah, I agree.
Jeff, have you been following Nolan Wells? You know who that is?
No.
Okay.
Stop following him. You're going to get arrested.
Don't call the cops. He's a cop call. No, anyway. No, actually, he was a kid who on July 4th went out with a bunch of friends. And they
Yes.
went on a boat. And they went to this island called One Island. And there was like probably about 2,000 people there. And he ended up dead. He ended up drowning. The boat he went out on
Very sad.
had
Very
an
sad.
issue and started like sinking. So they called the Coast Guard to come and drag it back, to go back to where, before it was sunk. They told him to get on the boat. He had met a girl, and they want to get on the boat and save the girl. But it's not unusual because there's about 1,000 boats out there, call 100 to 1,000 boats.
Right.
And somebody will take you back because, the majority of people know each other. So you have this, Benjamin Crump is? Benjamin Crump is like an outdoor type. Okay, only he's probably a lot worse. So he's trying to make something out of this to somehow
Make it racist.
Yeah, it's got to be racist. The white kids had to have killed this kid. That's in his mind. Meanwhile, the autopsies all say that it was pretty much an accident. It's not something. So he went and had an independent autopsy done. And the only thing he'll read is what they can't say. In other words, like he'll turn on and go, well, they didn't send the throat. So when they sent the body for the autopsy, they let the throat out. But the throat is something that they have to really look into because it shows the back, the neck, the hypoid, it shows anything that you could have hit that would have knocked you out. It shows anything that would have cut off your wind, that would have stopped you from breathing.
Probably hit something, right?
So they really pay attention to that. So you're probably not going to get that with the next autopsy because they've exhausted every part of it. You know what I mean? When you autopsy something, it doesn't stay in one piece. You know, by general, you want to look at the liver, and everything gets put back, but there's something you just can't. You know what I mean? So basically, what they're trying to do. Are you familiar with Carmelo Anthony? Well, that's cool. I actually like this. Carmelo Anthony actually stabbed the kid in Texas. He stabbed this kid off the neck. That's the nose of Minnesota. And then he tried to make it into like a self-defense case. He ended up getting 35 years a couple of weeks ago. 35 years. He'll be out in like 17.
Should be life.
So they're trying to get him a new case and stuff. Carmelo Anthony case made like $680,000 in GoFundMe. So anytime something happens now, everyone wants to set up GoFundMe and somehow make this money. His parents, I hate this kid, Carmelo Anthony. Let me turn this right off, because I like being able to see it. They don't have to see me, they know what I look like. I'm scared of that. We just move this camera, move the camera over a bit. Okay, so here's what happened. So, in the Carmelo Anthony case, basically it was a marathon track, really. And they had all the tents set up. And this kid Carmelo Anthony went on another team's tent. And you don't do that because all their gear is under there, all their stuff. So they don't want anything stolen. Barring the idea that this kid has a bad reputation for stealing and stuff like that. But even if you don't even know that, you just don't want somebody that you don't know. You need shit. I mean, it's real simple.
Should be simple.
This kid, Austin Metcalf, the coaches said to him, listen, it's a big day, you gotta help me out. I need you to watch what goes on the tent. So he saw this guy who was supposed to be there over, and at least 15 times this kid was asked to leave. 15 times. On the 16th time, Austin Metcalf went over and said, listen, you gotta go. So he turned and I guess he touched his shoulder or something like this, like they wrote, let's go. It wasn't crazy, it wasn't mean, it wasn't aggressive.
Right.
So I guess what happened was Carmelo pulled away and said, touch me again to see what happens.
Right.
So he picked up his knapsack and he reached into the knapsack. So Austin Metcalf reached over and I guess touched his shoulder. You see it in the video. I'm sorry, I didn't even answer the mic. You see it pull out and just jab the knife. It's literally that quick. I would almost tell you that he went there that day looking to do this. Not necessarily to this kid. I don't know if he had anything to do with this kid or anything like that.
Right.
But he was too willing. Listen, like
He was too willing to just really take out your knife and kill him.
So I think he kind of looked to street cred, in my opinion. And it also happened to be 3 weeks before his 18th birthday, which means he was going to keep his juvenile. So if you're going to do something, that's the time to do it. You know what I mean? Okay, so that being said,
Makes sense?
now they turn around and they're like, well, it's self-defense. So they set up a GoFundMe for him. The GoFundMe makes $685,000. Can you imagine that for a murderer? For a murderer.
That's what it was.
So the family finds out that all this money is being made. And they go in and buy a new house, they buy Lexuses, they buy new clothes, but they need this for his legal defense. So now it comes time to trial, right? So the first thing he tries to do is he tries to plead indigency, which means you broke. Means you got nothing. But it's kind of do that when somebody just gave you 600, and I'm lying. Now we're up to 800,000.
Yes. I was just about to say it went higher. It went higher.
So now they can't turn around and say indigency because they've got this fund. So what they do is they go looking for a lawyer, right? So do you think they go looking for a good lawyer? No. They go look, and I'm not saying they got this guy called Mike Powers or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's not a bad lawyer, don't get me wrong. There's nothing he could have done with this case. This case was a bunch of crap from the beginning. It was literally a shit show from the beginning. And so they go through the case. At the end of the case, he ends up with 35 years. Now all of a sudden, whose fault is it? The white lawyer. Meanwhile, now the parents get interviewed and they turn around and they say, well, we got told that we should have a white lawyer to defend him. The white lawyer, the black lawyer, we were going to get a black lawyer, but he wanted $500,000. Well, you had $800,000, so you couldn't afford that. And he wouldn't even talk to us for less than $200,000 up front. Well, but yeah,
$800,000,
right? Listen, these people cared nothing about this kid, and I'll prove it to you right now.
Yes.
This kid had no way of winning this case. There was no possible way he was winning.
Oh, so he witnessed the video, everything.
If this was my kid, this is my kid. Now, yeah, first of all, I know my kid did something wrong. I get that, but I still got to be on the side. I get that too. I have a kid, I understand. But if this was my kid, I would have said, listen, you did it. You're caught. They tried to go self-defense. There's no such thing as self-defense. First off, he didn't take the stand. And you can't plead self-defense if you're not going to take the stand. That's why you defended.
Right.
Because then you're giving up to everybody else.
Right.
So I would have said to my son, listen, Ed, that's my son. That's Ed also. I would have said, Ed, listen, you did something wrong. Okay? The best thing we can do is be as sorry as possible. I want you to be so empathetic to this family. I want you crying. I want you literally on your knees begging them.
Right. Apology.
Then I want you to throw yourself on the mercy of the court and plead guilty. And by doing that, this kid would walk away with maybe 10 years and been out 5. I'm not even kidding. Not that I want to get it out. Understand? You know what parents did? Didn't even show up to sentencing. When the kid was sentenced, they didn't even show up.
He sat there by himself.
He by
Now,
himself.
what parents do that? Not good ones.
So now that it's over with and he's gotten found guilty,
Yeah.
now they want the appeals. And they want to bring a black judge, a black court, a black lawyer into it, all this stuff. Meanwhile, they tried to set up 2 more GoFundMe accounts. So what do they have to now? What do they have to? They literally sent their kid down the river for more money.
Right. And you know he ain't gonna make it in jail.
And they got this guy. They got 2 of them. One, Dominique Alexander. He runs this organization in Texas. He's a convicted baby shaker. He shook babies.
Oh yeah.
He shook
Oh my
babies.
goodness.
He's a total grifter. Then they got this other guy, Charleston White. You know who Charleston White is? Charleston White was a crip. Crip at one point, one of the crips. And he killed white men. He's very, very proud of that. And so initially when this first happened, he was on the Metcalf side. So he was like, yo, did this guy go up to that school? You can't be doing that.
That's true.
You gotta go and get a teacher or something like that. You have problems. And this is what he said in the beginning. All of a sudden, Mr. Drew Anthony, the dad, sent him $3,000 to have a meeting with him. And then the next day it was, oh, that white boy was picking on him. And that white boy was being aggressive with him. And he deserved it. It was all of that, right? Until the money ran out. Then once the money ran out, now he's like, that is so soft, man. I'm on the Metcalf side now.
It's true.
It's like, yeah. So, that's kind of what we were talking about earlier.
Right.
But this kid knows they're doing everything they possibly can. Like, they got their autopsy back and they're reading it. And they won't read what the actual medical examiner said is positive about. They'll only read what he can be positive about. So, like, the kid definitely goes, let's say, the cause was definitely, a drown. He didn't say this, but I'm just giving you an example. The cause was definitely drowning because we found fluid in his lungs.
His lungs, right.
But we can't make a definitive opinion on whether there was an injury in the neck because, and he didn't say this right, but I'm going to say right, because the occipital bone. He even turned around and he was talking about decomposition. And no, I swear to God. and he goes decompensation. And it's like a lawyer. It's a fucking lawyer. I swear to God. He meant to go like what it said was the autopsy can't show this, and this because of decomposition. Because like it's been so long that the bone. He goes, and then I said, and the medical examiner said right here, right? Look right here. He said, dude, it's decomposition. I was like, oh my God, what's wrong?
This is a lawyer.
He's a lawyer,
You know
man.
what? He got a good education.
So anyway,
Right?
the only thing he'll bring up is what
He
they
got a good education.
can't be positive about. You follow what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but he total ripped, and then Al Sharpton was the best. So Al Sharpton gets on. Now, we already have one autopsy that says total accident. We got another autopsy that's inconclusive because they don't want to be conclusive. That's what it is. They don't want to turn around and go, it's an accident
Right.
because it doesn't meet their agenda.
Right.
And at the funeral, at the kid's funeral, they're going, justice with Nolan, what's his name?
Will.
Xavier.
Oh,
Nolan, Xavier, Will, Justice, Nolan. And they get everybody in the funeral. It's a funeral. And they're screaming, going, justice for Nolan. It's a funeral, man. You're supposed to have some sort of fucking semblance of respect.
how about
And
like
put your
that?
head down and be
Right.
quiet.
Peace.
Yeah,
Right.
you're supposed to.
Right.
So they're doing that. So I'll shocked it. You know who shocked it is, right? I'm not gonna tell you that, right? The crypto with what was her name?
Warner Bros.
Ron Brawley, yeah, and Steve McGonis. He ruined that guy's life, Steve McGonis, and he did nothing wrong whatsoever.
No.
He was a councilman.
They found out she came forward and said,
So I don't think it's broken. Yeah, exactly. So anyway,
that was 1989.
listen to this. Al Sharpton and who's that one? Medea. What's the guy's real name? Medea, the guy, Charles,
Ooh.
the one who played Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry.
So first, Sharpton stands up now. Now the lawyer moves away. Sharpton gets up there and goes, "They say I'm coming here looking for money. They say I'm coming here looking for money. I'm not coming here looking for money. I'm going to give money. I'm going to offer $50,000 to anyone who brings forth evidence and leads to an arrest in this case." Of course, Sharpton, because you'll never have to fucking give it because it was an accident.
Ah.
You're a moron. And the sad part is the morons who go, see what he's doing, what a great guy this is. Give it
Yep.
$50,000.
Yeah, they follow him.
He's giving $50,000 of stuff he'll never fucking have to pay. He'll never have to pay it.
Joe.
So then Tyler Perry calls. Tyler Perry calls and goes, I'm going to pay for his funeral. I'm going to pay for. So now the funeral's going on. Al Sharpton, like this wasn't already set up. Al Sharpton picks up his phone, looks at it, and goes, "That's Tyler Perry. That's Tyler. He's going to give another $50,000." So now we're talking $100,000 for anyone who gives testimony or evidence that leads to an arrest and a conviction. Neither one of them will ever have to give up a dime because it doesn't exist. It's like me saying to you, Jeff. It's like me saying to you, I'm going to give you $2 million if you can just disappear. Literally, just sit there and disappear. If you can do that, I'm going to give you $2 million. You think I'm ever going to have to pay that? No.
There you go.
It's the same freaking thing. It's the same freaking thing. You literally. Well, God, I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying, you know what pisses me off about that whole thing? Because you just brought up a really good point. Is look how they all went for their family. But Austin Metcalf, nobody.
Yeah.
Why? Because they're
Oh,
racist.
the other thing.
Now, look, to me, they're both human beings, young age to die. So if you're gonna do one for one, you should do for the other as a human being. But they're not. They're only like my brother just said here. They're going there. They're looking for evidence. There is none. But the young white boy that I killed, nobody.
It's not even that. It goes further than that. They're trying to get. Okay, so
That pisses
the
me off.
first thing they did was they tried to create the narrative that the only people on this island was this kid Nolan Wells and his three white
And
friends.
25 white people.
No, three white friends. And they wanted three white friends brought in and questioned.
Right. But there's a whole bunch of people.
It's a flat island, dude. It's flat. There's not even a street. There's no bathroom. There's nothing. It's a sandbar. That's what it is. But during the 4th of July, everyone in this town gets in their boats and goes to this area. So there was about 1,000 people there, maybe more.
Maybe more.
And the way they made it sound, dude, you would have thought that like these 4 white kids grabbed this black kid, tied him up, threw him in the back of the boat, and took him out to this desolate island and killed them and left them there.
With thousands of people watching.
They want to understand that these poor kids actually have a boat come and tow their boat.
Yeah.
So how are they explaining that? You know what I'm saying? The whole idea was this kid met a girl and he got off the boat and they said to him, listen, the boat's sinking, we gotta go back. Meanwhile, what had happened was because it's water, everybody leaves their phones up on the thing. So listen to this. You know who Nancy Grace is? Nancy Grace is this like reporter chick. She's a loon. She's a total fucking loon.
Yeah, she got bad over the years,
So-
man.
You're never gonna believe this. His phone. She's got like this.
Accent.
I'm actually doing that pretty good.
Yeah.
His phone showed up, and its stuff was deleted from it after he died. What she leaves out is it's from TikTok, which deletes your stuff automatically in 24 hours. So think about that a minute. Like this kid had no choice. This shit was gonna be deleted no matter what.
You want to know the funny thing is, real quick? You know who Nancy Grace is? Investigator.
Yeah, this shit was getting old. Yeah. She's as dumb as a box of rocks. And twice as useless. Unless you need paperweights, she's twice as useless.
Yeah. You're an investigator. You didn't pick this up. You didn't realize it.
So
Fucking Dick Tracy got this shit.
So what I'm gonna say right now is
Like the gadget.
people talk about racism and stuff like that. And you know what? I used to feel like I used to feel like maybe they were having a hard time, or maybe whatever it was. Now I realize when I hear the word racism, what I really need is what I really hear is what grift is going to make me money, because it's all about making money.
Yes, it is.
The only time you yell racism is when you want to make money. And if you stop and think about it,
Right.
you hear racism about police, about this, and you see that stuff that the person who's crying it is wrong. George Floyd, great example.
Yeah.
This guy, Derek Chauvin, should not be in jail. Dude had more fentanyl in him than Michael Jackson and Prince put together. Okay, I mean seriously, you know, and he died.
That's right.
No overdose.
Right.
But because this guy actually touched him while he was dying, he killed him. It's the same thing with COVID. Dude, I have a friend who got killed. He was in Florida. He was on a motorcycle, okay? And he was on a highway. And he got hit on the motorcycle and it decapitated him. It took his motherfucking head off. That's what I'm saying. They get the body to the hospital, they do the autopsy. Why he did an autopsy, I have no idea. But they do the autopsy. Turns out he has COVID. What do you think caused that? What's COVID? COVID.
COVID makes
Yeah, he
you.
had a head on his body.
I was just saying, COVID took your head off.
I mean, you
Now
know,
listen, I had COVID. My head's still here.
dude, I had COVID 3 times. 3 times. 3 times I had it. And 3 times I got over it.
Yeah, I had it twice.
You know, so it's all, everything is a bunch of crap.
And my head's still here.
You know, and I don't really get
Nothing
it.
in there, but it's here.
No, but I don't really get it. You know, like, I'm not that type of person. So
No, it's
my
crazy.
grandmother would say, like, only a thief worries about being robbed because that's the way he thinks. And that's kind of like the opposite of the way I am.
Right,
Like, dude, I leave my shit lying around because I don't rob anybody.
right.
So I don't think anybody else would. You know what I'm saying?
I'm the same way.
Nah. All right.
No, but it's very sad because, like I said, that's pitiful. Because 2 young men a day, one accident, one got killed. But you go to the one that had the accident, only to the one that had the accident. How about being a human being and showing some support for that family, for the mother and father whose son was murdered? But they don't because they're racist and
Well, that's the other thing.
They want the money.
Check this out, man. Check this out. So Austin Metcalf was the kid that got killed. So I told you that the other family hired this guy Dominic Alexander to represent them. He's literally one of the worst people on the face of the earth. So the dad of the kid who got killed went to the press conference. He goes in there and everybody looks at him like, you know, what are you doing? You know, what are you doing here? And this is what he says. He goes, I came here to try to bring us together so we could take any racial element out of this. I want us to pray with you people. And I want you to understand that I forgive your son. This is the dad of a kid who got killed.
right because they're
You know what they
religious.
did to him? They threw him out. They threw him out. Why do you think they threw him out? Because if they do that, then there's no reason anyone has to protect them from the bad white man.
Poor
You
guy
see what I'm
just lost his son
He lost his son. He told me I'm willing to accept this and make harmony. And he goes, listen, I don't want this to be a race thing.
We got some evil
It's not
people.
about race. This is about somebody not doing what they're asked and then killing somebody. It has nothing to do whether he was black or white. It was no difference. And then the other thing you got to look at is in Chicago on an average weekend, you have 10 to 15 people die
Oh,
by
jeez.
the bullet wounds going on. In black on black crime. Right? You never hear a word about it. So you never hear a word about it.
Nope.
Never heard a word.
Nope.
But if one of those were a white guy, it'd make immediate news. And even to the degree that we're
You're right.
now in time where the news will actually subvert the idea that it was a Spanish guy or black or Latin or whatever, and make him white. Okay, so in other words, the best example I can give of that really is the Trayvon Martin thing with George.
Yeah.
So George Zimmerman is Latin, but because his last name is Zimmerman, which happens to be a Jewish last name, I believe it's Jewish. So I'm wrong. Please don't give me an hassle about it. But because his name happens to be Zimmerman, all the things got to be white. So that's what made that such a big thing. Then when you saw his picture and you realized he was not white, you're like, no way, he's just not white.
Right.
All of a sudden, it was, oh, he's biracial. His mother's white, is this Hispanic, or his dad's white, and whatever. But yet, when Obama was president, he black. But his mother's white and his father's black. So was he biracial? Well, you gotta make him white. Fucking standards.
Yep.
It's like, well, that applies here because it works for me. But it doesn't apply there because it doesn't work for me. That's kind of where it's at. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. No, it's very sad. It's very sad what we're going through.
We're on 31 minutes. I was calling it up.
It's all right.
Is there anything else you want to talk about? Please feel free.
Please, come on, John.
Okay, so here's the deal. He watched a few of our podcasts. I wanted to see what it's like. And then in the process of doing that, I started thinking about the guitar idea and how I would like to just turn more people onto. He also plays keyboard as well. So maybe we can do some keyboard work as well. We're not looking to make you into Eddie Van Halen or Roy Clark or any of these people. We're looking to make you into a fun guy at a party or a fun guy at the campfire.
Yeah.
That's where we're going to be going with this. But good. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
It's, it's okay. I learned a lot tonight.
Well, let's talk about this. Let's talk
The
about.
topics are very interesting.
If anybody knows how to get in touch with Kennedy, with Robert Kennedy, I'd like to really have a nice talk with him about healthcare. As I said, I just had my teeth done, so this doesn't even apply to me. But I would like to try to put the idea to that without being able to eat, you can never be healthy. So trying to put healthcare and all this shit into it doesn't help. Because you can cure somebody right now, but if they can't eat, keep up the strength and keep up a good lifestyle, it just goes back to where it was. So there has to be right now like some sort of stipend or something like that will allow you, and I'm not saying somebody like Gabby to be able to go and get implants. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about somebody who has infections that could get to the brain, that could get to the heart, that could, you get the idea really. That could be, harsh on regular health. And, someone like that who can't eat needs to have some help. And they need to be able to eat the right stuff to get strong, to fight any infections and all of this. And at the same token, it's just also a pain factor. Okay, it's a pain factor problem. And no one should have to live with that type of pain. And if you talk about basic health care, there's no more basic health care than being able to eat.
Really?
There's just no more, that's as basic as it fucking gets. And it's not even just
Common sense.
it's also drinking, because you drink something cold, it hurts you, so you don't want to do that. You drink something hot, it hurts you, you don't want to do that. So now you start drinking, very lukewarm stuff that probably, not that that's bad, anything like that, but you're probably not even drinking as much of it because there are times when even lukewarm stuff hurts.
Yep.
But if this is the case, why aren't you getting help? Why is the government want to help you with this? First, listen, if you pick somebody's teeth, your chances are they'll be able to go. A lot of people don't work because of their teeth, actually, because they can't sit in an office all day in pain. They have to take care of it with go outside. And I was one of them. I used to go outside every day.
Same here. Oh, man.
So Now it's a little more of an option for me. Where before I'm just trying to kill any infections. I don't want to get hurt. So I really truly believe that it's got to start with the teeth. It's got to start with what you put in your. Okay, you can have a Ferrari.
Absolutely
You can have
right.
a Ferrari, and I could have a Yugo. And by the way, you haven't tried Yugo.
Hugo.
I'm not making fun of you, we love you. You know that. But
My
you can
man,
have a
what's up,
Ferrari,
Hugo?
and I could have a Yugo. Yugo is one of these cheap cars, like $3,000. I'm not even kidding. I think it's like Poland or some shit. I'm not kidding. I get it. So you could have a Ferrari, and I could have a Yugo. And if I'm putting gas in mine, you're putting Pepsi in yours, I guarantee I win the race. I guarantee I win any race. So the idea I'm trying to say is if you can't put the right things in your machine, meaning your body,
Right.
how can you expect it to do what it should do? And if you can't work because you can't, actually just exist because of this pain and this, unnecessary, unhealthy thing that you're dealing with, then you can't be a really good societal citizen. Is that right? Societal? I think that's right.
So,
It sounds right. Societal citizen. In other words, you can't meet your necessary requirements for society. You can't even be a nice person a lot of the time.
oh, now when you're in pain.
As much as it sounds, you're in such pain that you can't even be a nice person sometimes. Which, I know it sounds crazy, but if you think about the butterfly effect, where butterflies flaps and wings in Japan, and somehow there's a fucking tidal wave in this city because of this stupid freaking little butterfly thing. That's the way the teeth work too. If you're in pain anywhere, it translates out to the other people, and shit like that's infected on a different level.
That's right.
So if I'm in pain and I go to Jeff, Jeff says something, I go, no, I just gave him more or less a vibe that he's going to carry to the next person. It's like a song, dude. You ever seen the pain?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Where's the pain? Feel the pain.
You ever seen like on there's a show, I think it might be Seinfeld, where people start passing each other, and every time they pass each other, they sing their song. And when they pass, the next person picks up that song.
Oh yeah, no, that's when they win the lobby. Yeah, something. Yeah.
Seinfeld or a different one. But it's like, they'll be going by like, and they'll pass somebody by. And the next person will go down the street, Right, exactly. And that's kind of the way humor. But
Everyone goes back and forth.
your humor, your demeanor, that word. That's how your demeanor works as well. If you go and meet someone who has a great demeanor, you won't be that person. My grandmother used to say, you will forget your name, they'll forget your age, they'll forget what you look like,
Definitely.
but they'll never forget how you made them feel.
And that's so true. Our grandmother said that. I swear to God, he's so true. God bless. Really.
So that's why I say we really got to start it at the most basic level, which is
I forget people's names now.
So anybody has any ideas of how I can get in touch with this guy? I'm not looking to be nasty. I just want to run this. I just want to run logic by him.
Right.
I see maybe we can come up with something.
It's only logic.
As I said, if you got like a cavity or something like that that needs to be filled, you're not getting plans to get that shit. But if you're someone who's life, and believe it or not, in my situation alone, my life depended upon it. I had a bridge that was put in when I was probably 17, and I'm 62 now, and it just came out 3 years ago.
Still paying tolls?
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Not 62 fast. Anyway,
How's it going?
so about 3 years ago, I had the bridge taken out. But what happened was, for the first 2 weeks, it kept popping out. That when I was 17. And the dentist actually put it in with a screw, with a wood screw that you use in regular wood. My dentist took it out, showed me the screw, and it was all like what's the word I'm looking for? Like where it turns color, like not rusted, but
Disoriented, like.
it's like a darker color than it should have been.
Oh, okay.
It was like I guess became or something like that. But that was in my head the whole time. It was creating an infection on the side of my face. And there were times when my face was sticking out like a bowling ball, And the only thing I helped with was I cut it and I just rock it and I get the infection out. But I don't want to see anybody. And again, this ain't for me. I don't care who listens. I'm okay now. I'm fine. All right. I got my 5-year-old teeth. I'm good. And they're strong. They're good. And I got my implants on top. So I'm okay. I'm not doing this for me. I'm concerned about everybody else who has the same problem that I went through. I don't want to see them go through it. And, you know, it actually gets to a point where you wonder if, like, the next step, you know, like, I don't even want to say because it's very depressing, but this will put you into a depression that you would not believe on so many levels, from the looks to the feeling to the oh god, just the
discomfort, everything. Yeah.
Use them. You're like, I was down. I can't use them anyway, but I'm not only going to hurt you. You know, this can change a person's life on so many levels,
Definitely.
and it doesn't have to. Right now, like when I went for my implants, I got. Thank God I found a really good dentist, Dr. Tristan Liu. He's on 36th Street, West Side, 70 West 36th. He also has an office out in Hackensack. Best dentist that probably ever came along. So I did. I don't know where it's going. Oh, anyway, yeah, I remember now. So the estimates I got was between $25,000 and $73,000 from a doctor named Stephen Fox.
Damn.
Who was like the dentist, the billionaire, one of my clients. And I loved doing it, but and she was actually going like, I said, no way I can do that. And she was like, I'll do it for you, but you know, like, I said, I don't want him to do it. I don't trust him. And I didn't trust him because I asked him not to do something and he did it anyway. Yeah, the hydrostatic would be my teeth or something like that.
Oh.
And I told him, don't mess with my teeth because they balance right now, they're not hurting. And I knew once he fucked with it, it was going to hurt. And he did it anyway. And I know why he did it because he was supposed to rush me to get this done. So I was in more pain.
Okay.
Quicker. So that's he doesn't take the Hippocratic oath. He's just a hypocrite. I'm sorry.
It's true though, man.
Okay, so get back to the story. Then I came across this guy, Dr. Tristan Liu. And 6 months went by before I actually went and saw him for consultation and free, by the way. 6 months went by. I didn't trust his price. I said, and he was the first one to actually give me a price over the phone without telling me, you got to come in. So they want you to come in because they want to know what you. We just lost Gary. He's somewhere through my house. I just got to look for him. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, so he came back and I spoke with his office on the phone. I said, listen, what's your starting price for full arch? And he's the first one that turned around and said, 12,000. So I said, you're telling me my arch is going to cost me 12,000. He said, well, it might be a little more if I have to put grafts or anything like that in. But why don't you come in and let me find out? I said, what's the maximum I'm looking at? Now, I said this to other people, to other dentists, and they turned around and go, well, I can't really tell you that. I said, yes, you can, because it's not going to cost $1 billion. I know that. You know it. It's not going to be $5. You know that. So there's a range of the minimum and maximum it could possibly be. And they still wouldn't give me a range. Well, when you come in, we'll tell you. No, I don't want to waste my time coming in if I can't afford it. You get it? Then that just pisses you off more because here you got an issue going on that you just want help with, and they're not fucking helping you. You understand what I'm saying, right?
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, so then I go into Dr. Tristan Liu, and he checks my mouth, and I said, so how much is it? He came in well within what I thought was going to, he actually beat what I thought it was going to be. I'm not going to go into how much I paid and stuff like that. It's not really a business. But suffice it to say, it was less than I thought it was going to be. And it was more than 12. I'm not going to lie to you about that. It was definitely more than 12. But I needed a couple of things that made total sense. And I checked the pricing. Well, what?
I'm on here, bro.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got to put you back in. I'm sorry. Hold on. Kerry's lonely. All right. Let me get him in here. Hold on. There you go. There you go. You're back.
Sorry, people.
Yeah, see that? Unbelievable.
I'm sorry, people.
Anyway, he came back with, and I had looked up how much grass were and stuff like that. So he was right on the money. I'm not even kidding. Right on the money. It was $5. It was a 5-hour procedure. I don't take painkillers, and I wasn't sedated. I was awake the whole time. And I'm telling you, I was only in about 15 minutes of pain. The man handles the needle like fucking Wyatt Earp handled the gun.
Ah.
Okay? No, really, he's got such a great technique, man. He puts the needle in. Now, you know most dentists go
Yeah.
all over.
Yeah.
That's how he does. He puts the needle in, takes it out, waits 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Now your numbness is really kicked in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So now instead of going to another area, he goes right to the edge of where the numbness is. So you're
Okay.
numb.
Okay.
Puts
Yeah.
the needle, you don't even feel it. You
Right.
don't even feel it. I swear to God, I hate needles.
I
And
had a
you
good
didn't even feel
dentist too. Yes.
it. So the only needles that go was the first one on the outside, the first one on the inside. After that, no more needles.
Right. I saw my neck felt too.
I had
yeah.
about 10 days of discomfort. I'm not even going to, there was maybe, out of that 12 to 10, oh, there was only 15 minutes of pain with the procedure, and I was home. I rode my scooter home from 36th Street, a little scooter, a little push scooter. I rode it home from 36th Street to 93rd Street after having my mouth done.
You know, I did that from the dentist to my house on my bike because I could walk, but it takes time to walk up. I'm not a young man anymore. And as I was riding,
Yeah, he's got pain in his tooth right now.
I had the cotton balls there, fucking blood coming out. I'm riding.
No, I wouldn't even believe it, dude. I wouldn't even believe it.
I had
Swear to
the
God.
cotton ball.
It was the most amazing thing ever, honestly. That I walked out of this place, got on my scooter, and rode up 6th Avenue.
It was great.
It was amazing. So this guy is phenomenal. If you got to go anywhere, and as I said, this consultation is free. Go see him. Go see him and just let him see what he can do. If you can't do anything, you got nothing to lose.
Great.
But if you can help me get in touch with anyone that get a word to Kennedy, all kidding aside, this really has to be taken care of. Nothing else can make you better
Nope.
unless you can
Eat.
Well, unless you can fortify it with your diet. You know, like,
Eat your oral, Gabby. Healthy oral.
Yeah.
anyway, guys, I think we're done today. Jeff, you want to say goodbye?
Thank you, everybody.
You'll be seeing more of him. I like Jeff on the show. I like
Can I
that.
just say one more thing real quick? Because that
I'll
disturbed.
take you shit out of here.
I'm sorry.
Okay, guys, which one?
Just that one incident, if anybody saw that with the ice building, the guy that lit the fire.
Oh, yeah, dude, I didn't think of that.
I just wanted to bring that up because did you see how small the guy was? Only 4'5".
Yeah, but you know what he used? You know what he used? He used a legal firework.
Yes.
A legal one.
Uh,
So if you go to Walmart around 4th of July, they see these big packages.
Almost all.
And they got these things, these little like, they look like mortars. Okay, so
Yeah.
if you looked at them, you would say that's a propel firework. It's really not. It's just like it shoots up maybe 3 or 4 feet in the air. That's it. It's like morning glory type shit. But he poured gas down before he did it.
Yes.
And then lit it.
Yeah.
That's what did it. He's really lucky he's alive, to be honest with you. And then the
Yeah,
cops an airsoft gun and shoot at the cops. What kind of a moron are you? Don't ever tell me that the cops are trigger happy. Because he pulled out a rifle and a
I
pistol.
was just about to say.
Boom. And they didn't
And
fucking
shoot
kill him. They didn't
Thank
kill him.
you. No, they tackled him.
I would kill him. I'm not joking. I would
Yeah.
kill him.
Me too.
I would have wasted time. You would have been like, they would have been all sorts of
Goodbye.
protests.
And you know what the sad part? This is what I get mad to because let me tell you about those police officers. They ran towards the
That's
danger.
liking this. That's really cool.
Right. They ran towards the danger. And like my brother just said, they didn't even shoot.
Okay,
They
hold
ran
on.
towards the danger.
Let's let Jeff start this. Jeff, is there any charities that you like? Any charities like St. Jude's, any at all?
Not really. It's not really. I don't feel like I know where the people's
Well, see, I always check because you want to hear us.
checking. It's real.
You're going to hear us talk about 4 of them right now, and all 4 of them have a maximum of a 97 or 98%
Yes.
donation as opposed to administration.
Yeah.
So in other words, like the first one I'm talking about is Wounded Warriors. Is that the one with
Tell for towers.
And that's something 86.
right, Tunnel Towers. Okay, so Tunnel Towers, if you check, you only use 1.5% for admission, for not admission, for like their corporate stuff, like paper and shit like that.
Right.
Everything else goes straight to the charity.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with
Donated to the family
Right.
in need of.
and Wounded Warriors.
Wounded,
Trying to
Then we do Shriners, is another one we and St. Jude.
East
And
Field.
Field and Foundling. Those are the ones we kind of we tell everybody, listen, if you come across at the end of a receipt that says round off, for
Those are
one
great
of
shit.
do it. Do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
These kids, if you've ever seen,
Yeah, it's terrible.
I tell you the truth. You say it's terrible. I wish I had their attitude. I wish when you see these kids, singing and Christmas stuff, I wish I had that freaking attitude.
This what bothers me because he's right.
You want to say hi?
They smile,
Yeah.
they laugh.
It's my puppy!
That's
Yay!
what conscience-
How cute is that dog, man?
Beautiful dog.
Look at that little puppy. I love this.
There's one on
dog.
my block. Somebody has the same kind of
That's
dog
my
on my block.
Jada.
Every time I look at it, I think of her.
Jada has,
Because it's small, puppy.
look at that.
Beautiful.
Jada has liver cancer, by the way.
What does she have?
She has liver cancer. She's got liver cancer. So Jada's enzyme should be 230. They're 3,700. Yeah. She's got it hard, but we cook in house for her, and she's taking really great care of her,
Yeah.
and she's doing really, really well. And we're doing what we can. You know, we can only do what we're human, but we do everything we can for her, and we take great care. As you've seen, Jada's close to 14 years old. So
So
if
7.
you look at her, she looks like about 10.
Yeah.
So we're doing the right thing, and we're just hoping that we're doing the right thing. Let's put it that way.
Sick prayer, hopefully.
Yeah, and you got my other one right here. I don't know if you can see her, Kaylee. I just waited. Was that cute or what? Was that cute or what?
She gave you the wave.
And then I don't know how I can get my birds over here.
She gave you the pull.
That's next time when we do the guitar show. I'm going to show you how my birds play Simon with me. Anyway, all right, guys. You want it? Everybody, first, Jeff, you say goodbye.
It is a great day. Good for now. I'll come back.
Saturday, Leroy, because he does watch.
Hey, Leroy, how are you?
Leroy,
See you.
take it easy, brother.
Bye.
You know,
Yeah.
Now I gotta do that thing where you know how they photobomb.
Ah, how's it going? Everybody, just be safe out there. Enjoy
Have a
your
great
week.
night, guys. We love you.
See you soon.
All right.